But I also know some of you are in this room who, although you're going to gain your legal education and your Juris Doctorate, but you're not necessarily thinking in terms of a practice of law in the traditional sense. And there are other fields out there where your talents and your abilities are actually needed. And I suggest to you one of those areas is healthcare. That's just such an area that we need to do something about, is healthcare. And then behavioral health specifically. And so if, in fact, those of you, and there may be one or two in this room, who started out thinking one thing in undergrad, ended up in law school, and they want to go back to that first thing you were thinking about, talk to me. Because I am looking for young, talented people who are interested in maybe a different kind of career than a practice of law career, but still using your legal talents to do other kinds of things with those talents. And so if you're in, that's why I came here for this networking opportunity. If you're interested in that kind of thing, then, you know, talk to me. Thank you very much.
Judge Roby?
Networking. I think Charlie said it best. How long ago was it that you were working there?
Check. I would say probably 11, 12 years.
And as soon as he hit the firm, guess what happened? Everybody knew Charlie. He worked the halls. But not only did he work the halls, he produced good quality work so that everybody wanted to work with Charlie. So one of the main ways you can network is to produce good work products, because then you become in demand, and then people want to get to know a little bit more about you on the personal side too. I would say to Mr. McKenna, he understands networking. I understand. I was out of the office last week, and he stopped by in chambers, left his card. Judge was not expecting me. I happened to be in the building, just wanted to say hi. Just tell her Warren stopped by. Got the message. That's networking. Networking is also participating outside of your little box. Currently, your box is law school. Your box then will become a law firm. When you get in the box of a law firm, depending upon where you are, the firms that I worked at made life rather convenient. I didn't have to go wash my car because somebody came to wash it for me. I just paid. I didn't have to go to get laundry because the laundry was delivered and I got to bill. I did not have to go get lunch because Lear would go get our lunch. So, after a couple of years, I looked up, and you know what? I really hadn't left work. My friends who I graduated from Tulane with, you kind of lose contact unless you purposefully reach out and pick up the phone and say, hey girl, I haven't talked to you forever. Can we go to lunch? And it has to be a deliberate act where you step out of the law firm and do something other than work, because you will always feel the pressure to work. But you also have to find the balance and do something other than work. Even here, I'm one of 6 magistrate judges working for 12 very active district judges. So that means for every case they have, I have 2. And so the tendency for me is I'm up at 5 regardless, and I don't go to bed till late anyway. So my tendency is to work. And with electronics, you can work till you can drop. But once again, you have to find balance. So one of the ways in which I balance is sometimes young female lawyers have trouble in their firms and don't know how to manage circumstances. Well, they call me and say, you did this, huh? I said, yeah. Can I come talk to you? I said, sure. And we'll sit and we'll talk, and I may not agree with how they're handling a situation or their perspective on a situation, but my goal is to give them guidance based on my experience as to what happened. I may have run into them or met them through someone else, but once again, they felt comfortable to contact and follow up through a networking opportunity and have since become more productive in their law firms. Another thing that really, really helps, find a sport that you like. Give back to the kids in New Orleans. My sport of choice is golf. I started out as a golfer with my husband, but I always have a joke and I tease him. When we had the boys, one of us had to retire from the game. Guess who that was? The other one continued to play the game. However, now that our kids are older, I picked up the game again. I can play with them because they play the game. But not only that, I give back to the community through a program called the First Tee of Greater New Orleans. It is a junior golf program that teaches life skills to area kids. So these kids learn how to set goals. They learn how to write a resume. We have an AB honor roll. 42% of them are on the AB honor roll. They learn and understand the importance of perseverance, because one thing about the game of golf, it's unforgiving. I don't know if y'all watch Tiger Woods play, but that last, I think it was the last match he played that he ended up winning, he was shanking left and right. But guess what? He stuck with it and he won the match. And that's what these kids get to learn. So I get to grow because I interact with these kids. But I met all kind of PGA people that otherwise I would have never met. I meet people who own businesses. One guy owns an insurance company and multiple restaurants. And guess what? We all volunteer in this golf program. And if I were a practicing lawyer, that would be business for me. So don't get in the box. Work your way out of the box, because that's what networking will do for you. But you got to get out of the box to network. That's all I have to say.
Great. Judge McNair? We alternating state federal, you notice that?
I noticed that. These meet and greet kind of functions are very, very useful in terms of exposing you to opportunities. And I'm sure that that's what the majority of you here are looking for, an opportunity. Not simply to network, but to have that networking lead to a positive goal. One of the aspects of being able to just communicate with you on an informal basis, at least for me, it allows me to know something about you in terms of those intangibles that you don't get from looking at someone's rank in school or someone's grade point average or any of those kinds of things. I can get that by getting your transcript. But to know you a little better, these kinds of functions assist in doing that. And like Judge Roby had indicated earlier, when she was talking about the box, I thought about one of the questions I asked potential law clerks. I asked the question, would you please tell me the last non-legal book you read? And every time I ask that question, I get a deep pause. Because, yeah, I realize you just came out of law school, you just took the law exam, and perhaps thought you didn't have time to read a book that didn't have anything to do with the law. But when you asked the question, what was the last one? I didn't care when it was, but let me know that you read something that wasn't. In fact, the last young lady I interviewed on that asked me, do magazines count? She just read the Cosmos, so it's very, very important to also work your way out of the box. And to just, as I stated earlier, just let your head down a little bit when you do that with an informal thing. And before I take my seat, let me just also indicate that one networking opportunity can oftentimes lead to other opportunities. When I was asked by a young person just out of law school if I would give him a curator, and I'm going to assume you know what that is, I'm not going to tell you about it, but asked me for a curator, and I said, okay, we got a deal here. I will give you curators when I'm able to, but at the same time, I want you to volunteer for the pro bono project, which is obviously a project that helps those individuals who can't afford to hire all these high-powered lawyers that you see around here. So and when that trade all came about, that person not only got curators from me when they started doing the pro bono work, they were able to one, get a job with the project, and then after that was leaving there because of the relationships they made while they were there, was able to go into a law practice, a law firm, and one opportunity led to another, which led to another. So this networking is very, very important.